Marvel's The Avengers game is now effectively dead. Well, dead in the sense that it won't be supported anymore come at the end of the year. The news comes in a blog article from Square Enix themselves, detailing that the game would be digitally delisted after September 30th, and that support for the game would end there. All credits will be turned into in-game resources, and all cosmetics will become free after the 2.8 update, which will be the final one for the game. The game at launch came into middling reviews, because honestly, the combat was good in some parts, but the bugs were and the enemies were basically copy and pasted from one mission to the next. It's telling, because they couldn't even get Insomniac's version of Spider-Man, which shows that even Sony didn't want this game anywhere near their Spider-Man universe. If the game was a self-contained single-player campaign, it would have worked out better. It's weird, Marvel's Avengers was an anomaly, as it was essentially the little engine that could, and the fact that it received 3 years of support gives it an edge over Anthem that found itself in a similar situation. Although at least Square Enix got to give the game some substantial DLC, and not do what EA did and play Will They Won't They for 2 years before saying, nah, we're not gonna bother, let's just move on. This is coming as the game industry is trying and failing to mix single player games with live service monetization and multiplayer. Largely in the past, the two remain separate. But with the rise of games that could make money endlessly with little dev time, some companies absolutely jumped at the chance for it. With Marvel's Avengers, they were trying to do a single-player style story with a co-op multiplayer gameplay, with live service cosmetics, and a store that would rotate frequently, with yearly seasons that would bring new content for the players to keep coming back. It was worth a try, but was executed poorly because at launch, the player base got mad and bored and just never came back. So whose fault is this whole mess? First off, it's not remotely Crystal Dynamics' fault. They are actually a studio that knows how to do single-player games. Well, keyword, single-player. Crystal Dynamics was fairly a single-player game studio before, that was tasked with making an Avengers game, but more than likely, there was a mandate from corporate that the game had to be a live service multiplayer title. I'm not bashing on Crystal Dynamics, but when you've been making single-player games for a majority of your existence, your first time up to bat is not going to be a success no matter how hard you try. Anthem found itself in a similar situation. BioWare is primarily a single-player studio. EA forced them to make Anthem, and now it's available for a penny at Best Buy. Don't even make me talk about Babylon's Fall. It crashed and burned so hard that it shut down its servers 4 months later, and it was reported GameStop employees were told to throw out copies and were just giving them away for free. So with all this, live service games are the one kind of experiment the games industry is not learning from. They'll keep trying until they get a hit, but usually to get a game that is a massive hit, you have to let that idea come naturally from the devs, not because you told them to. Then you end up like these 3 case studies. Thanks for watching. Do you think the games industry will learn from the Avengers, or are they just going to keep trying until this is standard? Let me know in the comments below, and if you like my content, please consider subscribing and clicking here to see another video.
But launch is only the beginning of this adventure.
Marvel's Avengers delivers a narrative over multiple years, with exciting new content released at a regular basis.